Hey friends, welcome back to the house for another drink. So in our latest poll, we had a tie.
We did have a tie.
So it came down to Writer's Tears Redhead and the Irishman Harvest. So we had to flip a coin. And Writer's Tears Redhead came out as the winner. In the next poll, we're going to mix it up a little bit with a variety of things, not just all Irish whiskey. So if you are kind of in tune with these and you follow along the journey on different spirits that we share with you, be sure to look out for that poll. It's also going to be on the community tab. I'll post it up this weekend so you can help us decide what we're going to review next. We've got a long list and we need your help. And it also takes a lot of stress off of my back of trying to figure out which one we want to do.
I mean, we have a lot. We want to do all of them. We're going to get through all of them. We just don't know what priority they should be in.
Yeah. So
we want to hear from you.
We want to hear from you. We definitely want to go based off of what you all want to hear about first. So, of course, being a redhead myself, I'm kind of favorable towards this. Not that that helped win it out, but I was very affectionate of the name when I actually saw it. So, Writer's Tears Redhead is another in the core lineup from Walsh Distilling. Now, we did review the Copper Pot from Writer's Tears fairly early in our channel's history, but if you didn't actually see that and get a small piece of their distillery history, we'll post the link up top so you can go back and you can actually watch that. Now that distillery was actually founded in 1999. In November of 2021, Walsh Distilling was acquired by Amber Beverage Group. As my mind started thinking ABC, but it's not ABC, it's ABG.
ABG.
Totally threw my mind off the tracks there. So, Amber Beverage Group, they actually retained Bernard Walsh as the managing director.
It's really nice to not be completely out of the works. You do have a good person. You retain the driving ability in your own company. It's good.
Yeah, and it's also smart business.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you rescued a sinking ship and you're trying to start all over again, if they've got a good brand, they've got a good product, you need to keep some people there that helped get it there, or you run the risk of losing your fan base.
This is very true.
So it was a good move on their part, making sure that they kept a piece of that.
And we're really glad that they did as well.
Yes. I'll share that up until us doing Writer's Tears, I was not a fan of Irish whiskey. I was very ignorant to what all was out there. Jameson was really all I knew. And not throwing shade on Jameson, but I'm just not a fan.
That's okay, I'll throw shade on Jameson.
You can't do that. You can't do that. Because they do have a strong following.
They do.
But I would question that, is it a strong following just because that's what they love or that's all they know, like me?
In the span of Irish whiskey, there's so many different varieties, grain profiles, how it's aged, how long it's aged. There are so many loose guidelines where Jameson's is nothing like Writer's Tears. Writer's Tears is almost nothing like some other whiskeys that we have yet to review. So.
Yeah, but their marketing is brilliant, and that's what many people at the bars or clubs see on the shelves. So you got to give them due what they've actually done. But there's so much more, as I've learned from an amateur Irish whiskey fan now. I'm going to say fan because I have really stumbled upon some great ones that we continue to open new ones that I'm like, wow, this is really good.
You're welcome.
Yes, so thanks all to you. Now, also about Amber Beverage Group, if their name sounds familiar, they're just not involved in Irish whiskey because they also own Ka Tequila.
Tequila! So what Amber Beverage Group is really, I guess, known for is they are picking up in their portfolio of ownership small quality distilleries. And they're really marketing, they're really angling to launch them into the next level of marketing. Now with Writer's Tears, a lot of you are probably already familiar with the label and what they stand for, what Walsh Distilling is about. So Amber Beverage Group has not had to invest quite as much money marketing Writer's Tears. So for this Redhead expression, it really is one of the core group, and what they're doing is they're taking Walsh's triple distilled single malt grain, and it's being aged in hand-selected Oloroso sherry butts, which imparts its signature red ruby hue, hence the name Redhead.
I like it.
So are you dipped in Oloroso sherry butts? Is that how you get your red hue?
I'm sweet for other reasons. But the red hue, maybe.
Well, after we drink this, you might have a different kind of red hue.
It's possible. It's quite possible.
So Redhead is, once again, non-chill filtered, and then it's bottled at 46% alcohol by volume.
Okay.
So once again, another really strong Irish whiskey. This one's going to be a single malt, which means it's going to be 100% malted barley. Triple distilled, pretty common, and then the Oloroso sherry casks we've really been seeing a lot of lately.
More and more distilleries are going that route, or that's like dabbling in their finishing.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Some, I'm like, didn't do it for me. I mean, and others, I want to continue to try to see if someone else nails it, because it sounds like that sweeter side, or
Yeah.
it could impart some of those sweeter things to the whiskey that I really love. So I'm hoping that Writer's Tears actually comes through.
You want to give it a taste?
Yeah. So what else are we expecting from this one?
Well, Writer's Tears Redhead is promising a nose of orange peel, dried fruits, and sherry plums. So I'm kind of wondering what a sherry plum is. I'm going to have to look that up later.
Yeah.
On the palate, we should have that nutty Oloroso flavor profile along with spicy raisins and creamy oak.
All really good things.
Coming up and finishing with just long and complex and a flourish of orange at the end. So true to Irish whiskey, you're going to have those fruity elements to it. From the sherry and the aging, you're going to get a lot of that nuttiness and more of that spice coming in along with that wood profile.
I like it.
Let's give it a taste.
All right, we'll let you
Oh, you're
end
letting
up
me.
popping the cork.
Ah, yes.
I don't want to hear you say anything again about heavy pours from me.
I have been so excited to try this. Not sorry.
The cork itself is real cork, wooden cap, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Smells sweet. So I pick up on that Oloroso.
I pick up on that sherry pretty fast.
Yeah. That's really the biggest part of it. It's very nice on the nose. There's no burn. It's very light.
Yeah. Pick up a little bit on the orange and fruits, but I think that just is all encompassing of the sherry scents.
Yeah. Wow, it's so light. Cheers.
Cheers. Now that's an Irish that tastes more like a Scotch.
I'm sitting here thinking back on the copper pot, and although it was smooth, there was some hug to it.
Yep.
This one, almost non-existent.
Completely different flavor profile.
Yeah, totally different. Very light, not as sweet as I would expect from the notes that they talk about, but it's got a nice flavor to it, nice little warmth, but not a big hug at all. It's very tasteful.
I would say that if we have any Scotch drinkers who are looking to edge into Irish whiskey, Redhead is your gateway.
Okay.
It's an excellent transition because it is the single grain, so you're going in with a very familiar grain profile. When you compare the Redhead to the copper pot, it's like comparing completely different fruits. So the Redhead is definitely more of that spicy sweetness, where the copper pot to me was more of that bright fruit, more apple notes.
Okay. I may have to go back and try it side by side.
Oh no.
We don't have any, do we?
No.
Then it looks like we will have to save some of this because we are not buying another bottle of that right now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh.
Although, another one of our items on the list from Writer's Tears that we'll post up in one of the polls here soon is a Japanese cask finish.
It's one of their limited releases.
So that will be one that we can kind of try side by side to see really what the differences are. So make sure that if you are kind of into the Japanese whiskeys that you follow along, because I'm really, really interested in that one, knowing that I've really fallen in love with some of the Japanese whiskeys we've got.
And I'm really excited that we were able to pick up both of those bottles, really, when we were in Ireland, because I have never been able to find any of the limited or special releases here in Ohio.
No. Well, this was good.
It still is.
Good. I mean, good. And will continue to be for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while.
For a little while, yeah. I would say this was a good score.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very tasty. Very, very tasty. Thank you all once again for joining us for another drink. Stay tuned for the polls. Help us out on choosing what we're going to do next. And until next week, take care, stay safe. We'll see you soon. Cheers.
Cheers.